my aim on you.
Okay, good morning to you. It is 12 minutes away from 7. This is the AM show on 3 Magic Talk and Online. New research out this morning from the New Zealand Initiative has found no difference in performance between Decile 1 and Decile 10 schools. A year-long study of 400,000 secondary-age students found outcomes are heavily aligned to students' economic situation at home, how poor or wealthy or whatever is going on at home. New Zealand Initiative Executive Director Oliver Hartwich joins us now. Oliver, good morning. Why is this so important?
Yeah, good morning, Duncan. It is so important because we want to know how our schools are performing. We want to know which schools are cruising, which schools are doing really well, and which schools need some improvement. And of course, all of this is against the background of Bali Haag's Tomorrow Schools Task Force report, which says we need a complete reorganization of the education system because of existing inequities. Well, they have based the report on anecdotal evidence. We have based our report on an analysis of 400,000 students. So basically every student who ever said NCEA in the last 20 years is in our database. And we can tell you that there is no discernible difference between Decile 1 and Decile 10 schools on average once you adjust for student characteristics and backgrounds.
So if the government was being honest with itself, it would look at this research and say, hey, there's the research done for us. Let's stop the proposal to change the way we run our schools, you know, by getting, because they're going to go to these hubs and there'll be more bureaucracy and parents will lose, you know, the boards of trustees and all that's going. Your research basically says the government shouldn't go ahead with what it's going to do.
Our research really says that we have to look again at the data, something the task force hasn't really done, and then we should decide where the problems are. But our research also says, let's use that research for further work. We are making our code, our year-long work, available to the government, to all government agencies and departments, and we encourage them to use the model, insert their own code, and actually try to figure out how to do education policy better, because our model allows us to really identify school performance much better than even the Education Review Office can currently do. We can really tell you how much a school adds to a student's performance.
So can you tell me where the best schools are? Can you tell me what are the best schools Decile 10 or are they lower?
I would love to tell you which the best schools are, but the problem is that we are bound by confidentiality rules. We are doing this work in the Statistics New Zealand Data Lab, and before anything gets out of the data lab, it is vetted 3 or 4 times, and I can't identify a school. We are not allowed to do that.
I'm not blaming you for this at all, as this is the rules, but you can't tell me, and you've had a good look at this information, you can't tell me, and I can't tell the rest of the country, where are the best schools and who are the best schools.
It's not just that I can't tell you, I can't even tell the minister when he asks me, because we are not allowed to do that. So that's why we're arguing to the government, to the ministry and Statistics New Zealand, that we probably need a different approach, because just imagine how much information there would be available to parents, to principals, to boards of trustees, to the ministry, once we really know which schools perform and which not. And also imagine what we could do with it, because there are some really high-performing schools in our decile 1, 2, 3 sectors. Once we know which schools are performing well in these deciles, we can probably share the recipe that they are employing and share it with other schools that need some improvement.
So these low decile schools, that some parents they have this sort of white flight thing where they take their kids elsewhere. These schools are okay.
On average, they are fine. In every decile, you find some underperforming schools and you find some overperforming schools. But on average, there's absolutely nothing between deciles 1 and 10. We think we can find excellence right across the education system. It doesn't matter which decile you're in. And sometimes, for particular cohorts of students, going to a lower decile school that is actually catering for their needs might be better than sending them down the road to a decile 10.
Interesting stuff. Hey, I appreciate your time on the programme this morning. Oliver Hartwich from the New Zealand Initiative. So